Omaha and Nebraska have obviously had a pretty good run compared to others over the last couple of years, but is there anything that you guys have seen that's an innovative policy or program that other similar cities or states have put in place recently for young professional job growth or engagement that we should be or are looking at benchmarking?
You know, this is going to sound like chamber hyperbole because we do tend towards that a little bit in my business, but we are cutting edge in some things that other people are looking to us for. I think the young professional group is one of them. We aren't the first young professional group that's existed, but I would suggest that we're one of the most effective. And I say that because we weren't afraid about engagement. Now, I will admit to lots of times when there was fear that when we worked with the young professional, like, oh my God, what did they say? Or what do they want? Or what are they doing? But now it's become a we rather than a they. So what are we going to do together to accomplish some things? Most communities haven't reached that. We've got a chamber exec group that I'm on the board with, and I raised the issue about who's doing young professional groups, and everybody raised their hand. And so we asked them, what are they doing? I said, well, they meet, and they have parties, and they do receptions, and they get together and network. And so that was nice. I said, what do you do after that? Well, we don't do anything after that. That's what they're there for. They're there for young professionals to meet and network and kind of build their own network. Well, we don't think that way. So people are looking at us and asking us, how do we engage our young professionals the way that we have? It's all really been from you telling us how you can be engaged and us kind of listening and engaging to the extent that we can. The second thing that's out there is entrepreneurship as I call it a business community strategy. Some places like Silicon Valley or Route 128 or even Austin are kind of perceived as these places where entrepreneurship just kind of happens. These overnight successes that took 25 years to create. Well, we are now becoming known as a place that has figured out a way where entrepreneurship and kind of the traditional business community have figured out a way to work together. Now, if you'd asked me that 3 years ago, I would have been surprised that we were kind of recognized that way. But at South by Southwest recently, which is kind of the big kahuna entrepreneurial and music festival that's held in Austin every year, the Austin Chamber exec was asked to serve on a panel, and he got up and he said he doesn't know how chambers can figure out a way to interact between entrepreneurs and normal businesses. And one of the panelists raised his hand and said, well, you need to go look at the Omaha Chamber then, because they figured it out. Now, they don't have all the answers right. That was his next statement. He said, but they at least opened the doors and they're trying to figure it out. So I think we've figured out the young professionals are an important segment and we need to engage them in everything that we do. We figured out that entrepreneurship is an important fourth leg of the economic development stool that we cannot avoid to look at, and other people are kind of looking at us for that. I think what we can learn even more from other people is how to make sure that we're targeting businesses in the right way, that we know who can be successful here and who can't, and then working really effectively with those industry clusters that Kathy talked about to make sure that we're successful. The final thing, if I had a company that would announce that they're going to spend $1 billion in my state over the next 10 years, and they're going to hire 4,500 people a year for the next 10 years, well, what would we do to try and get that company here? They're already here. And we've got companies like UP and Mutual and PD Ameritrade and Westcorp and Balin. You go right down the list of all these companies we've got. We got to pay attention to how we can make sure they can be successful here. If we do that, our economy will continue to be strong. Now, Bob is in his difficult situation. He's kind of a captive audience. He can't get up his track and go to Mexico tomorrow. That's really a good thing for us, but it shouldn't make us complacent about making sure this is as competitive a place for existing businesses as we are for new businesses coming to town. So I think that's something maybe we can learn better from other places that might have done a better job at it, but it's certainly something we got to pay attention to.